All right, so today, sports performance, we are going to do our push day. So we're going to do lots of squats and presses, lots of rotation, and some lateral movements as well. We do need just one set of dumbbells, but I do recommend having two. I would like us to try and push to go a little heavier during the push presses today, but we're going to do 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest, 3 times through. So I'll go ahead and get started with quick demos here. So starting off, we're going to do a rotational squats and press. And so we're going to have one dumbbell, and whichever side we're holding the dumbbell in, that's the side we're going to rotate towards. So my dumbbell is in my right hand. So we're going to squat down, and as we press up, we're pushing towards the left side. Hips go to the left, dumbbell comes up and back down. So coming up, pressing, rotating, snapping the hips. And so then we'll do 40 seconds on one side, and then the other side, same thing, coming down and then pressing up. Hips are facing the right side when we have it in the left hand. So that's going to be our first 2 movements. Cut my arms off a little bit, so we'll fix that camera. And then we're going to go ahead and do some lateral squats here with holding the dumbbell underneath the chin. So we're going to be nice and wide with the legs, dumbbell at the chest, pushing those hips back, push the ground away on one side, and then again on the other side. So from this angle, just like a regular squat, knee coming forward, chest staying up, pushing through that heel, big toe, little toe. So that's going to be our third movement. And then we're going to go ahead, grab the other dumbbell. We're going to do push presses. So this is where I would like us to use heavier dumbbells. I was going to grab them, but I did shoulders right before this, so don't know how much lift I can lift with this one. But basically what we're going to do, we're going to use those legs to help the arms a little bit. So slight bend of the knee, push those dumbbells up, back down, up and back down. So this is where if we have a heavier set of dumbbells, we'll be able to use those legs a little bit more. We are also going for longer this time. So if we need to take a few seconds in the middle, feel free to take a few seconds and then right back into it. So after that, we're going to be on the ground. We're going to do dead bugs. We got our core assist going. So we're going to do regular ones today. Just coming out, exhale back in, and then out and back in. So this is also where if we have those heavier dumbbells, we can push ourselves also using a heavier one, really activating that core. So that's going to be our workout for today. So we can go ahead and get started with our warm-up. And we're going to start in a half kneeling position here with some hip flexor into our hamstring stretch. So we have one knee on the ground, one foot on the ground. We're going to tuck the pelvis, squeeze the glute, push those hips forward. We're going to start to feel that opening up the front of the hip. Nice big deep breath. And we're going to exhale, rock back, toes to the ceiling, chest towards the knee. Nice big deep breath. And we're going to exhale, coming forward. Again, same thing, tuck the pelvis, squeeze the glute, push those hips forward. Nice big deep breath. And exhale, rock back, toes to the ceiling, chest towards the knee. Breathing into that tightness, nice big deep breath. And exhale, last one, coming forward, hip flexor. So squeezing that glute, keeping that core tight, push those hips forward, nice big deep breath. And exhale, rock back, toes to the ceiling, chest towards the knee. And on our next exhale, we can go ahead and release out of that. And then we're going to go ahead and switch our legs here. So opposite knee, opposite foot, same checklist here. Tuck the pelvis, squeeze that glute, push those hips forward. The more we squeeze the glute, the more we release the hip flexor. Nice big deep breath. And exhale, rock back, toes to the ceiling, chest towards the knee. Nice big deep breath. And exhaling, coming forward. So same thing, squeeze the glute, push those hips forward. Keeping that glute squeeze, big deep breaths. And exhale, rock back, toes to the ceiling, chest towards the knee. Nice big deep breath. And exhaling, rocking forward. One more. Squeeze that glute, push those hips forward. Big deep breath. And exhale, rock back. Really opening up the back of the legs. And we're gonna exhale and come out of that. And then last movement here, opening up our back, getting some rotation in. So staying on our hands and knees, we're gonna go ahead and inhale, reach through in between our opposite leg. And exhale, opening up towards the ceiling. And we're gonna inhale, reach through. And exhale, opening up. And last one, reaching through. And exhale, opening up. Go ahead and plant that hand back up underneath the shoulder. And we're doing the same thing on the other side. So we're gonna inhale, reach through. And exhale, opening up. And inhale, reach through. And exhale, opening up. And last one, reaching through. And exhale, opening up. We can go ahead and plant that hand back up underneath the shoulder. And we can go ahead and stand up. And we are ready to rock and roll. So we're gonna go ahead, get started. We got rotational squats to press. Whichever hand the dumbbell is in, that we're turning in the opposite direction. So getting ready, just need one dumbbell here, getting ready. 3, 2, 1, and go. So we got rotating here. So dumbbell at the shoulder, we want that elbow slightly in front. We're gonna squat down, knee past second toe, keeping that chest up, exploding through, pushing through with the opposite hip. So my right hip is doing the work as we push off of that right foot. So I like to think of it as really like a swing here. So we're pushing through that hip, working on that explosiveness. Great job. Heel, big toe, little toe. Floating through, keeping that core tight. 3, 2, 1. All right. 20 seconds. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So now the dumbbell is in the left hand, same thing like a swing, pushing those hips, driving off of that back foot. 3, 2, 1. Really almost just grabbed that dumbbell and like started swinging. I'm not even left-handed. All right, so elbow slightly in front. Our hand is close to the shoulder, but we don't want to be down here. We also don't want to be out here. So we want it nice and close to the body. Rotating up. Keeping that core nice and tight. It's really easy to start to push those hips forward as we twist and rotate. That's going to put that pressure on the low back. So butt to belly button, keep that core engaged. Exhale as we power up, which is going to help us use that core. Great job. 3, 2, 1. All right, next up we have our lateral goblet squats. We're going to stand nice and wide. We want our toes to face forward as much as we can. Dumbbell's going to be underneath the chin. 3, 2, 1. So push those hips back, knee over second toe. Getting as low as we can. This obviously is our first time doing it. So the more rounds we go through, I want us to push, get a little bit deeper into that lateral squat, pushing through heel, big toe, little toe, keeping that opposite leg nice and straight. Sometimes I notice if we're not standing wide enough, our leg tends to bend when we come over. If our legs are too close, we want to be wide enough that when we push out and back, we still get that other leg staying nice and straight. 3, 2, 1. All right, we got push presses coming up next. So if you have a heavier set of dumbbells, grab those. We're gonna help, our legs are gonna help us with the arms, so we're not fully squatting. 3, 2, 1. So slight bend in the knee, coming back up. So this is something that we do want it to be a little bit more constant. I want us to really push, get as many reps here as we can. Again, using a heavier weight this first time. As we move on, we can always drop down as we get a little bit more tired. And again, just a slight bend in the knee, pushing back up. So our legs are helping our arms, especially when they get tired. Keeping that core nice and tight. Pushing. 3, 2, 1. All right. Last up, we have dead bugs core assist. Gonna flow through this. No holds, just regular old dead bugs. Zipping up through the core. We have a string attached to the end of the zipper. 3, 2, 1. So making sure those knees are directly above the hips. Wow, my core is tired from yesterday. Okay, we're feeling it already. I really only train core when I teach. So sometimes we go so hard, especially after all those holds yesterday that we did. My core is tired. And after all my cardio from today. Exhaling, pulling those legs back in. 3, 2, 1. All right. Round 1 is done. We've got 2 more. We're going to do our rotational squat to press. We got a few more seconds. Get ready. Feet hip width apart. 3, 2, 1. So dumbbell just above the shoulder, elbow slightly below the shoulder, not super far down, also not above the shoulder, so slightly below, also slightly in front. So that's our pressing position as always. Coming down is really easy to drop that dumbbell down as we squat down. We want to try and keep that shoulder in this position as we squat down and then coming back up. It's gonna get my shoulders already on fire just from holding in this position. So really making sure we're keeping that dumbbell where we need it to be, snapping those hips. 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's definitely a shoulder burner when you hold the dumbbell like that. Maybe we're just gonna hold the dumbbell like that for 45 seconds one day. We're just not even gonna push. We're just gonna hold it. Isometric holds, great way to engage our muscles actually. 3, 2, 1. So same thing, elbow slightly below the shoulder, hand just above the shoulder, and then keeping that elbow slightly in front. So keeping that elbow slightly in front is going to help us protect our shoulder joints, but also our muscles go in certain directions. So it's going to engage the muscle fibers the best way. If it's all the way out here, puts stress on the joints and the chest, all of that. So we want slightly in, snapping those hips. Great job. Keep that elbow up. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have lateral squats, holding it like a goblet. This one as well, we can grab that heavier weight since we're just doing legs here. Our legs have way more muscles than our arms. 3, 2, 1. When you think about it, your quads have 4 muscles, your hamstrings have 3, and then there also are a lot of smaller muscles that go across your quads. And then you got your calf muscles, which you have 2 those. So that alone, you only have 1 shoulder. And then you have, I guess your bicep has 2 heads, tricep 3, but they're definitely not as big of muscle groups as our leg muscles are. So I always encourage grabbing heavier weights for the lower body so we can push a little bit harder. 3, 2, 1. All right, we got push presses coming up next. Again, same thing, elbow slightly in front. and making sure those elbows and those hands don't dip down. If we hold it here, we're gonna get more engagement versus coming down. 3, 2, 1. Hold those dumbbells up, elbows slightly in, and also making sure that our shoulder blades are still squeezing that orange. Otherwise, our shoulders get close to the ears, which is going to work our traps more than the shoulders. Not necessarily what we want here. Also, keep those wrists nice and straight. The more we bend the wrists, the less we'll feel it in the shoulders. Keep those wrists straight. Stopping at the same point every time, elbows slightly below. 3, 2, 1. All right. Last up, we have dead bugs, core assist, and then we got one more round. Then we're gonna cool down, reset our mind. 3. Oh wait, no, it's not 3 yet. Sorry. 3, 2, 1. All right. So coming out, back down. As always, belly button towards the ground, zipping that core up. We got to string the end of the zipper. When we really focus on pulling through the zipper and the legs follow, it's going to take those legs out of the equation and help us only feel it in the core and not in the hip flexors or the low back. Definitely takes a lot of focus, a lot of concentration. Exhaling as we come back in. 3, 2, 1. All right. Last round coming up. Then we're going to cool down. Okay, getting up's a little harder. We got it. All right, rotational squat to press. Last round. 3, 2, 1. So feet hip width apart, toes forward. Again, slightly above the shoulder, elbows slightly below, slightly in front. Down, pressing up. So snapping those hips. Again, just like we are playing softball or baseball. Explosiveness. Snap the hip forward, and we're pushing through the ground. So as we're doing this, that foot is pushing through, and our headlights on our hips are going to blind that direction. Great job. 3, 2, 1. All right. Same thing on the other side. So again, as we squat down, the left leg this time pushing through, headlights blinding the opposite wall. Getting ready. 3, 2, 1. All right. Down, pushing through. Again, snapping, leading with that back leg, but also making sure that we're not pushing those hips so far forward as we raise the dumbbell above head. Sometimes when that happens, it means we need to work a little bit more on our shoulder overhead mobility. We should be able to do that without arching the back. If we're having trouble with that, feel free to always reach out at any point and we can kind of work on some shoulder mobility, work through all of that. Great job. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, lateral goblet squats. Toes forward. Get ready. My legs are definitely feeling it. I don't know about y'all. All right, getting ready here. 3, 2, and 1. Push those. Actually face this way. So now too that it is the last round, hopefully this movement doesn't feel as tight. So we really want to get as low as we can, pushing through the ground, keeping that core nice and tight. Keep that chest open. Nice job. Side to side, getting as low as we can. Knee still going over the second toe. Finish strong. 3, 2, 1. All right. Getting ready. We got push presses and then dead bugs. And then we're going to cool down. So we're at the final few movements here. Getting those heavier dumbbells. We're pushing, finishing strong. 3, 2, 1. So slight bend in those knees. Keep those wrists straight. Try and keep that constant tension in the shoulder. So it's going to help by making sure that we are having those dumbbells slightly above the shoulders. Elbows are slightly below the shoulders and then slightly in front. Again, core nice and tight, same deal here. If we cannot get above head without arch in the back, we need to drop the weight and also focus on our mobility here. 3, 2, 1. All right, done with those. We got dead bugs, and then we're going to be on the ground for our cool down. We're going to do some figure 4 to cool down today. 3, 2, 1. Actually, we're going to do some pretzel today to cool down. I feel like we do that a lot, but we also did a lot of rotation today. So I'm sure we need to really just let that body relax in that position. I'm also sure we probably won't get too much rotation the rest of the day, being at the computer and everything. So we'll work on that this morning while we reset the body, reset the mind, all that good stuff. Great job. Finish strong here. Use that core. 3, 2, 1. And that is it for today's circuit. So feel free, grab a sip of water if you need it. And then, like I said, we're still gonna be on the ground for our cool down, for our mindset reset. And we're gonna do some pretzel. So whenever you're ready, you can start on whichever side you'd like. We're gonna do our same checklist as always. So we're gonna take our top leg up, over and across our body. We want the knee and ankle on the ground, bottom hand on top of the knee, and then with our top hand grab onto the bottom foot or ankle. Inhale to prepare, and exhale, opening up that top shoulder towards the ceiling. And we're gonna start to really take nice big deep breaths, relax the body. So we really wanna take nice big deep inhales in through the nose, and then exhaling, sighing away our tension through the mouth, making those exhales longer than the inhales. So it's gonna help our bodies calm down. And then the more we breathe into the belly, we're gonna feel that low back expand. We're gonna get a little extra stretch, breathing into the tightness here, relaxing our muscles. And what we're gonna do here is now on those exhales, I want us to audibly sigh. So as we inhale, we're gonna exhale, like let out just a nice audible sigh. So what that can do is just really calm our bodies down, help us really release that tension, that stress we feel physically and mentally. We're literally physically sighing away the tension, sighing away the stress. We're going to do one more deep breath. And after we've exhaled, we can gently release out of that stretch. And we can turn over onto our other side where we're going to do that same thing. So same checklist here. Top leg is going to come up, over, and across. And then we got, oh, there we go. My back just cracked. That felt really nice. All right. Top hand on the, bottom hand on the top knee. Top hand is going to grab onto the bottom foot or ankle. We're going to inhale to prepare. And we're going to exhale, opening up towards the ceiling. Same thing. Big, deep belly breaths in through the nose. And then exhaling, sighing away. So I want us to all make that noise, just sigh nice and loud, relieve our bodies and our minds of the tension and the stress we're feeling today. Letting all of our muscles relax in the stretch. Releasing the tension and stress today. And we're going to do one more deep breath. And when we're ready, as we exhale, we can gently release out of that. And then we'll spend a few seconds, not 1 second, just we'll spend a few seconds on the mat on our back. So we can lay out nice and straight, nice and flat. One hand, our left hand over the heart, left hand over the stomach, over the diaphragm here. We're going to breathe nice and deep in through the nose, letting our right hand expand higher than the left hand. And then exhale, release that tension. I want us to think of 3 things that we're grateful for, and I want 2 of them to be about ourselves. So something that we're really grateful for about us, or just even something that you love, something positive about yourself. Think of 2 things. And then that 3rd thing, I want us to think of someone that we are grateful for and just think about them, hold them in your mind, send them lots of gratitude, love, positive energies for the day. And if you feel so inclined, let them know when we are done here that you are grateful for them. And really just spread those positive vibes. So we're giving ourselves some positivity, 2 positive things about ourselves. And then sending that positivity to 1 person that we are grateful for. Doing this can kind of help set the tone for the day, can help us have some positive neural pathways, have a brighter outlook over the day. So if we do this every morning, it'll help kind of set that tone for each day. We're going to do 1 more deep breath. And after that exhale, you can gently wake the body up. Feel free to stay laying on the ground, or when you're ready, we can roll over onto the side and return to a seated, kneeling, or standing position. But that is going to be all the time that we have for today. So thank you so much for joining me. We do have 1 more class today. We got Functional Fitness Friday and Guided Breathing at 12. So definitely join in there. And then we got regular classes starting next week. And then a few more weeks left to register for Design to Run. And then on Monday, Peach Invitational registration opens. We got golf coming up in July. So please let me know if you have any questions about sports tournaments. Hopefully we'll see y'all out there in a few weeks. Thank you again for joining. Nice job. And then I'll see you next week.